March in place with arm drive. It is important to drive your arms towards the ceiling as you lift your knees. Stationary lateral lunge with reach. It is important to keep your toes pointing forward and push through your heels as you move from side to side. Glute bridge. It is important to drive through your heels and squeeze your glutes as you lift your hips off the floor, being careful not to pull with your thigh muscles. Clamshells are to strengthen the muscles of the hips and glutes. It is important to keep your hips stacked and do not let them rock back as you lift your top knee towards the ceiling. The prone swimmer is a great warm-up or strengthening exercise for all the muscles of the back and shoulders. It is important to keep your shoulder blades squeezed and move fluidly throughout the entire exercise. The dynamic lunge series is meant to warm up all the muscles of the legs, hips, and glutes. You will do a walking lunge, hamstring stretch, hip rotator stretch, and quad stretch as you move through the exercise. The inchworm is designed as a warm-up exercise for the hamstrings, hip flexors, legs, and lower back. Walk your feet towards your toes as close as you can before moving your hands farther forward. Jump squat. You want to squat down and jump up as quickly as you can with minimal contact time on the floor, driving your arms towards the ceiling to assist with the movement. In the stationary lunge, it is important to make sure that you push through the heel of the front leg as you stand up. During a walking lunge, it is important to place the heel of the front foot on the floor and drive through the heel as you stand up, moving forward across the floor. For the partner leg press, it is important that one partner stand close to the wall so they do not feel like they will fall forward at the top of the movement. For the partner doing the leg press, it is important to relax the head and push through the heels. For a push-up, find a surface that allows you to keep your body straight, whether the floor, chair, or a counter. For a tricep dip, position yourself on a chair and raise and lower yourself by bending your elbows slowly. To make the movement harder, you can straighten your legs. For the mountain climber exercise, it is important to keep your knees directly under your body straight, and move your legs as quickly as possible underneath you. To make this exercise easier, you can slowly tap your feet until you build enough endurance to move your legs more quickly. For the burpee exercise, it is important to keep your core engaged and try to get as high off the floor as you can with minimal floor contact time. If this exercise is too challenging, it can easily be modified. You can do the hip thrust portion simply standing up in between. If this is still too challenging, put your hands on a chair or a bench, or you can step in and out slowly as is demonstrated in the video. For the plank exercise, it is important to keep your head, shoulders, and butt all in a straight line. To make this more challenging, you can alternate and lift one arm off the floor at a time. For a further challenge, you can try to lift opposite arm and leg. To do so, you should try to keep your hips square with the floor at all times. To challenge your oblique muscles, you can also do a side plank. You can do this with or without rotation, as is shown. Feet can be stacked or one in front of the other on the floor. This exercise can be performed on your elbow or on your hand, depending on how much of a challenge you are ready for. The HEISMAN lunge, named after the famous Heisman Trophy pose, is a great exercise to strengthen all the muscles of the legs and glutes. You perform a backward lunge and bring the backward leg up in front of you at the end of the movement, rotating your torso towards the same side. The partner-assisted hamstring lower is a very effective, yet can be a dangerous exercise if performed incorrectly. It is important that one partner firmly hold the heels of the other and a chair be placed in front of the exerciser for safety. Lateral lunge with knee thrust. It is important to try to keep your toes pointing forward and push through the heels on both feet. Take a large step sideways and bring the bending knee up towards your chest as you stand. Opposite hand toe touch or forward single leg squat. Standing on one leg, reach across to try to touch the opposite foot as you lower yourself to the ground. It is important to keep your head up and your back in a neutral position. The plank up-down exercise is a great alternative to a push-up for total upper body strength. Alternating arms, lower yourself to your elbows and back up onto your hands, keeping your hips square with the floor at all times. Toe taps are a great cardiovascular exercise. Staying on your toes, alternate back and forth between your feet with minimal ground contact as fast as you can. The bent over T, I, W, and Y exercise are great for strengthening all the muscles of the shoulder and rotator cuff. You're going to move through each letter T, I, W, and Y fluidly while trying to keep the shoulder blades stabilized. Partner alternating squat with overhead press. It is important to get a tension that allows you to reach as high as you can over your head while your partner squats. For the partner-assisted overhead press, reach as far as you can over your head while keeping your shoulder blades activated. It is important to get a tension that allows you to straighten your arms at the end of the movement. For the partner-assisted row, it is important to stand with your back in a neutral position. Pull your thumbs towards your armpits, your elbows behind you, keeping them close to your sides, and squeeze your shoulder blades. For the partner-assisted chest fly, it is important to stagger your stance to enhance your balance. Bring your hands in front of your chest, keeping them parallel with your shoulders and your elbows slightly bent. For the partner-assisted chest press, switch your hand position so that your palms are facing the floor. Keep your elbows close to the level of your shoulders as you reach all the way forward. For the bent over back fly exercise, it is important to keep your spine in a neutral position with your knees bent, using the muscles in the back of your shoulders. For the bent over row exercise, always important to keep your spine in a neutral position, elbows close to your body, pull your thumbs towards your armpits and squeeze your shoulder blades. For the standing bicep curl, position your feet on top of the tube at a tension that feels moderately challenging as you bend your elbows towards your chest. For the tube T with lean back, position yourself with your heels on the floor, leaning back until you feel your stomach muscles engage. Pull the band across your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades. Lateral squat walks with the band. It is important to take a large step and then a smaller step, keeping tension between your legs at all times. Your toes pointing forward or slightly in to keep your gluteus medius muscles activated. For the backward squat walk, you also want to keep your toes pointed slightly in or forward, squeezing your glutes as you take each step backwards from toe to heel. As you transition to the forward squat walk, you want to place your heel down first and then your toe. For the partner-assisted resist rotation, it is important that one partner stand perpendicular to the other. At attention, allowing the exerciser to feel as if they need to use their abdominal muscles to resist being pulled sideways. For the partner-assisted alternate leg lowering abdominal stabilization exercise, it is important that the partner holding the band stand directly over the chest of the partner doing the exercise. One leg should go all the way to the floor and all the way back up before the next leg is lowered down. Partner-assisted lateral hops with resistance are a great way to work on balance and get your heart rate up. For the partner-assisted wood chop, it is important for the exerciser to keep their elbows locked and use the muscles in their torso to rotate away from the partner or the anchor point of the band. For the partner-assisted window washer, it is important to have just the right amount of tension so that the exerciser can keep their thumbs as close to their ears and shoulders as possible while keeping their shoulder blade muscles engaged. This is a great exercise to strengthen all of the muscles of the rotator cuff when done properly. For the partner-assisted seated ab rotation, it is important to lean back just until you feel your abdominal muscles engage and coordinate with your partner to rotate in opposite directions. For the partner-assisted one-arm row in plank position, it is important to keep your hips as square with the floor as possible, pulling with a tension that allows your shoulder and back muscles to get as much of a challenge as the rest of your body. For the front squat exercise with the band, it is important to cross the band in front of your body to provide extra tension. Put your arms in front of you as if you were holding a bar on your shoulders as you perform the exercise. For the partner-assisted pull-down, it is important that the exerciser is kneeling while the partner holding the band is standing so they get an adequate range of motion. The exerciser should squeeze their shoulder blades, pulling their elbows behind them and aiming their thumbs towards their armpits. For the front and lateral raise in stationary lunge position, firmly place the band under your front foot, making sure to keep your heel on the floor. Raise your arms in front of you and out to the sides, using the muscles of your back and shoulders. For the partner-assisted resist rotation in lunge position, it is important to coordinate the tension with your partner as you use your ab muscles to rotate in opposite directions.